What's going on, everybody? It's your boy AT Money, and we're back again for another banger video. Like, subscribe, and turn on those noties. And today we react to the Bucks winning their first title in half a century. I incorrectly predicted the Suns taking this one in 6 or 7, but it's in order for you to explain my thinking, so you can see inside my mind for a second. Let's go to my reasons for concern about the Bucks. My main concerns were they able to win on the road against a top team at full strength? And they mediated this one by winning Game 5 in Phoenix, which was a big shocker. Next up, I was scared the Bucks would not be able to adapt when the moment called, given they were known for being stubborn in some of their other playoff runs. However, this was different. They're willing to change to a more perimeter-centric defensive system to rival the Suns' offense. Mike Budenholzer put on a coaching masterclass in every game but games 1 and 2. The Bucks decided to stick to an offense that emphasized the paint above all else, making the aforementioned defensive adjustments. They adapted and therefore conquered. My biggest gripe about the Bucks before their finals win was because their big three of Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Jrue Holiday play well at the same time. I deem Giannis the only consistent force, as Mills and Holiday usually would take turns having off nights. However, again, this was not the case. They finally played consistently together when it mattered and got the job done. Giannis had one of the greatest closeout games in NBA history, no question about that, with 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks, and despite his infamous free throw struggles throughout this year's playoffs, made 17 of 19 shots from the charity stripe. His dominance on both ends of the floor at such an opportune time basically secured his spot in the Hall of Fame. While this does not make him the best player in the world winning the title, he's still behind Kevin Durant, and who knows where he stands in relation to LeBron. It does put his name into the annals of NBA history, but it also leaves a legacy. Remember when Giannis was scheduled to hit free agency and could have played in all the biggest markets? People were putting Giannis in Lakers jerseys and Nets jerseys, maybe going to Miami. But he re-upped with a small market team, which is normally a terrible business decision, especially considering this team has suffered consecutive playoff disappointments. And early on, it was looking right. The loss to Miami, the collapse in the semifinals. It seems like it was all going to continue. But this year, with a little bit of luck, and yeah, the team actually decided to be consistent for once. They did just that. Giannis wanted to win it all for the city who gave him a chance to chase his dream, and the city where he feels at home. And he was able to deliver. As the confetti fell at Fiserv Forum, the Bucks Stadium, there was a photo of Giannis, the 2-time MVP and reigning defensive player of the year, sitting on the Bucks bench with a plethora of emotions running through his veins. He knew his legacy was secured, but this was not the only legacy impacted. Every single player in the Bucks wrote their name in NBA history. However, we can't forget about Mike Budenholzer, seemingly cursed with collapsing the postseason, with so many almost, but never quite getting the job done. His job was on the line this year after a gut-wrenching first-round exit to the Miami Heat last year. He finally took a team to the top, after one too many, so close, but yet so far moments. Memories of when his 2014-2015 Atlanta Hawks won 60 games and got inexplicably swept by an inferior Cavs team where LeBron was the only thing they had to stop, and they couldn't do it. And when his Bucks teams would just wet the bed in the postseason, year after year after year. Those moments come to mind. But now, he will not be remembered as a choker. He will be remembered as a champion. And for the Bucks, who waited 50 years for this very moment, finally brought a title back to the dear nation. For them, it was justification that the wait was indeed worth it. Now for the Suns. This was a collapse. There's no other way about it. You did well to take your first 2 home games, give you credit, but you lost 4 straight in excruciating fashion. Games 4 to 6 especially, close and very winnable for Phoenix, but individual mistakes sunk the ship. Devin Booker and CP3 couldn't get this one going at the same time. Mikal Bridges was a no-show. Jay Crowder and Cameron Johnson just couldn't provide that same offensive spark you normally expect. And don't get me started on DeAndre Ayton. The amount of mistakes he made was petrifying. Monty Williams didn't do a great job coaching, but he didn't bottle it either. His team's execution, particularly when it mattered, was just appalling, and it cost him dearly. This loss especially hurts for CP3, who I really feel for. He's lost 4 best of 7s, after going up 2-0, and I know he really wanted that ring to solidify his legacy as a top 5 point guard. And now is forced to realize his chances will slowly dwindle away as he isn't getting any younger. That is my reaction to the Bucks win the NBA championship. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and turn on those noties. That's all from me, folks. And peace!